Please say hi to
Mohamed Layani, the chair umpire for this one.
Just take the picture first, then we take the together. Please, picture. Thank you, thank you. Okay, gentlemen, few reminders like always. Net machine, TV changeovers, and Hawkeye, use your voice. Say loud and clear challenge. The signal is not enough, and it's challenge between first and second serve immediately, and 25 seconds, the shot clock on each corner, okay? Please, so let's, then you want the blue or the silver? Blue, okay, blue, Novak. So up in the air, you see, they try to flip, oops, okay. Silver. Serve, okay? Okay, stay. So good match, huh? Thank you. Please, thank you, it was good.
Well, the always jovial, the always smiling Mohamed Layani. It was Novak Djokovic who won the coin toss, and he has chosen to serve first in this second semi-final of the day, which, Barry, has the potential to be fascinating, doesn't it?
Yeah, good evening, Adam. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, absolutely. Two of the form players at the moment, Djokovic, who's had a spectacular year, Medvedev, who has had a spectacular few weeks, and he's showing no signs of slowing up either. Just the form that he's been in, and it is remarkable to have done as well as he did in Washington, making the final, then Montreal, and then this week. He didn't have a bye, so he has had to play an extra match this week from Djokovic, but it's going to be a great match because the previous history, the two matches this year, have also been wonderful matches.
And a word for David Goffin as well, reaching his first Masters 1000 final earlier on today.
Yeah, I was so pleased for Goffin, as I was for Gasquet. Both have had brilliant weeks. Goffin, he's of course had bad luck the last couple of years with the eye injury, and then when he slipped on the cover of the French Open, but he's played some wonderful tennis, and the key in that match actually was the second serve points won. They often say you're only as good as your second serve. In that match, total second points, he won 80% of those, Goffin.
Wow. So it's Goffin who lies in wait, but there is Novak Djokovic, the world #1, the #1 seed, the defending champion after winning the title for the very first time, somewhat surprisingly, here last year. He'd been runner-up on a number of occasions, but eventually got over the line against Roger Federer. And, well, yesterday he came through against Luca Pouille. And actually, Barry, he was forced pretty tough, wasn't he, in that opening set? Pouille played very, very well, but in the second set it was hard for Pouille to keep that level.
Well, mentally it's very hard when you know you're playing your very best tennis. And we were mentioning that, weren't we, throughout the opening set. But as soon as he let his guard down, and that's where Djokovic pounces. Djokovic, I thought, was brilliant last night, and I think he has been throughout this week. It was always going to be difficult for him at the beginning. That first match against Querrey, he lost his opening service game, but since then, 29 consecutive service holds. He's been serving brilliantly, and he would love to win the title again, as he did 12 months ago.
Yeah, well, his last two matches against Pablo Carreño Busta and Luca Pouille, he has made 71% of his first serves, Novak Djokovic. Yesterday, he lost just 5 points behind his first serve. So if he continues to serve like that, it's going to be interesting to see how Daniil Medvedev copes in the return games. But of course, Barry, the last time they met, Monte Carlo, Medvedev got the better of Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, he did, and it was a fascinating match as well. The average rally length was 8 shots. They had a brutal point in the third set, which Djokovic won. It was 41 shots, but so often it's what you do after that. And Djokovic actually played a poor service game and then really struggled and went down 5-1 in the third. But Medvedev, who is the Iron Man, isn't he? He's the Iron Man in terms of being able to put in great performances, but as you highlighted to me earlier on, most of his matches are actually won in an hour and a half.
Yeah, well, he's played 50 best-of-3 matches in 2019, and only 9 of those have gone over the 2-hour mark. So, yeah, he's played a lot of matches, but it's not as though he's grinding out 2.5-hour victories or losses at the end of that. So, I mean, that's a positive. But, I mean, it was staggering, wasn't it, that he still chose to play doubles this week?
Yeah, I can only think that was a long-standing commitment with Demolina, the Brazilian doubles player, and probably didn't want to let him down. He's just chilled, and that's what I like. He's honest in his interviews. He understands his game, and it's a lot different from in previous years where he lost early.
Well, there
hasn't dropped a set.
Sorry, Barry, there is a look at his route through so far, and as you can see, the longest match that he's had, 1 hour and 18 minutes against Edmund and then Pair, and then just over an hour to get the better of Struff and Rublev. Now, going back to that Monte Carlo match, it was very windy that day, and Medvedev said that he actually dealt with the conditions a lot better than Djokovic. Do you see him tonight, Barry, sticking to the same game plan that he's adopted? Certainly, I mean, if you look back to that Australian Open match at the start of the year, he was more than happy to try and play Djokovic at his own game, just go from the back of the court and go toe-to-toe with the world #1.
I expect him to play the same way. Why would you change it? You know, the way he's played the last few weeks, I think it's what he's comfortable in. I mean, it was a great match, and as he said, you know, it was really helpful to play him in Australia when he said Novak was at his best. And I kind of felt it was almost inevitable after that match that Djokovic was going to win the Australian Open in the semi-finals and final. He played such a high level, but he learned from that meeting in Australia to then to be able to beat him in Monte Carlo a few months later. But Djokovic is in a totally different place now than he was when they last played on the clay.
Yeah, well, against the big three, Daniil, Medvedev, Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, he's played 8 matches against them in total. He's won just the one, and that one, of course, coming against Djokovic in Monte Carlo. He's played Federer 3 times and has lost every single one. He's played Nadal once, has lost, and obviously against Djokovic, it's Djokovic who leads the head-to-head 3-1. So he's doing a lot of winning, but perhaps when he comes up against the very best, he just sometimes falls short. There is, of course, the Djokovic camp.
Yeah, Janko Tipsarevic in the middle, who Djokovic was hitting with earlier on.
So our second semi-final of the day, Novak Djokovic, the #1 seed, Daniil Medvedev, the #9 seed. It's David Goffin who lies in wait in tomorrow's final. It's another hot and humid day. We've had an enormous kind of rainstorm as well a couple of hours or so ago, but touch wood, we won't see any more of the wet stuff. And this should be an intriguing match ahead. It's going to be Djokovic to get this one started.
Pace are ready. Novak Djokovic to serve. Ready? Play.
Ominous start.
15
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part to the match, is the court position. You'd expect Djokovic to try and play on the baseline. You probably expect Medvedev to play deep, as he has so often done in the last few weeks. But will he need to change it up? I think you go with plan A to start with.
Yeah.
My only doubt about Medvedev is the amount of tennis that he's played has to catch up with you at some stage. And generally, it's only when you really feel the pressure. So you might feel good to start with, but if they have a couple of long rallies, that then could take its toll physically and mentally. Start more crucial for the Russian than it is for the top seed.
Wow, what a return. Showing his aggression early on here, Medvedev. good from Djokovic. Backhand down the line early on in that point, just to allow him to take control.
Usually on the main tour, the average rally length is around 5 shots. These two, they bucked the trend. In Australia, it was 7. Monte Carlo, staggering 8.
Thought it'd be more than that.
46 points in Monte Carlo over the 9 shots.
So Djokovic holds comfortably to start off this semi-final. And of course, Barry, one thing we didn't mention in the warm-up, the elbow of Djokovic yesterday against Luca Pouille in the second set. He had to call for the trainer. Was just having a bit of work done. Fortunately, he didn't feel the need to call a medical timeout, which is good. We actually saw Goran Ivanisevic up in the player dining area, and I asked him how his elbow was, and he said, yeah, it's okay. So hopefully it'll be all right.
He's going to say that, though, isn't he?
That's true.
Daniil Medvedev to serve.
Physio. Did only make 1 out of 5 first serves in that opening game, and I think that's more the pressure. Yeah, he will feel some nerves, but it was a good opening service game from Djokovic.
How has he got that back? Not sure how much he knew about it, Djokovic.
15.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that's really what Medvedev wants to be doing in this match. It's not necessarily his game plan, the drop shot. And Djokovic, well, he improvised brilliantly, didn't he?
I wonder whether he saw yesterday it was actually a shot Luca Pouille used a lot, wasn't it? To good effect.
Pouille has a great drop shot.
That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! 30, 15.
Well, his willingness to fight, Medvedev, came from his first coach in Russia. And she said, what she instilled in him very early on was to fight until the very last ball.
He's hitting that backhand down the line beautifully, isn't he, in the early stages, the world number one.
And I like to look at early stages of matches and see who's doing what to who, and so far it's Djokovic who's dictating the play.
There is Gilles Savara, Daniil's coach, his wife as well, just to the left of Gilles.
Medvedev.
So Medvedev with a solid hold of his own. And that should just settle both players down. They both hold, and 1 game all.
1 game all.
Very impressive opening service game in terms of the first serves. He made 5 out of 6 for Medvedev. That is something that has to work well tonight. He can hit his fair share of aces.
That's good. Able to dictate there, Daniil Medvedev.
15.
Yeah, Tan's one of the biggest improvements in his game this year has been his willingness to step up a little bit more and use that backhand in that way, hitting the ball early.
Just long.
30-15. With 40-15.
That was easy pace from Djokovic. First serve at 120.
First ace, followed by the second for Novak Djokovic. So Djokovic leads 2-1.
Well, if you look purely at service speed, last night Djokovic averaged 119 miles per hour on his first serve. So far today he's 125, so that would suggest everything's fine with his elbow.
Yeah. Yeah, we just saw him practicing before, well, about an hour and a half or so ago, hitting with Janko Tipsarevic, as Barry was alluding to earlier, and he looked okay, was hitting plenty of serves, and the elbow seemed in working order, so can all breathe a sigh of relief.
And we know the backhand down the line is working as well, don't we, for Djokovic?
Yeah, looking very good off the ground. Well, they both are, in fact, in the early stages. Certainly, from what we've seen in the first 10 minutes, it looks as though this should live up to the billing. Well, plenty of people still making their way into centre court. Of course, we've had 4 matches out on the court today, with both the men's and the women's semi-finals.
Red time.
Crowds have been absolutely magnificent, though, this week. Certainly for the evening sessions, there's barely been a free seat to be had, and you'd expect it tonight just to continue to fill up.
Yeah, record crowds this year for the tournament. It continues to grow.
Mr. Djokovic and the court, left near side, Boris Collier.
He's going to challenge, but the fact that he's marched straight across to the ad side suggests that he's not too hopeful on this one. Decent second serve from Medvedev, 103 miles an hour, and he couldn't have placed it much better, could he?
15 now. Yes. 13 now.
The serve is going to be
Mr.
tested today for
Djokovic has
Medvedev. We saw yesterday
remaining.
against Luka Pui that before his match with Djokovic, 40% of his serves were unreturned. But yesterday against the world #1, that went down by about half.
15.
He's come out tonight, he's hitting big with his forehand, Medvedev. And because of his technique, and a lot has been made, and he's quite open, it's unconventional, but it's actually at times hard to read where he's going because he can hit it late, that forehand.
Clinical service hold there, no time at all. 2 games all.
And confirmation of
game
forehand and how much harder he's hitting already. 80 miles an hour tonight, 74 up to this stage. So a little adjustment, maybe the need and the awareness that he needs to just be a little bit more proactive when you're playing the very best. But what's important, Adam, is then when you look at the unforced errors count. And so far, he's been very good.
Yeah.
He's not leaking errors. So that's a good base to build from.
Just came back his side. It thought about just trying to crawl over. Good dig from Medvedev just to get Djokovic to play that final volley.
And it's a great pattern of play. And it's one of the reasons why Federer's won all 3 matches against Medvedev. He does return very well, but he does return deep. And what that means is Djokovic can go wide with the serve and then into the opposite corner. Brilliant tennis.
He's certainly not holding back, is he, on that forehand wing? There is Goran Ivanisevic. Never had a great record here in Cincinnati. A couple of quarterfinals was his best result. Did okay elsewhere, mind you.
The phone, thank you.
Very good tennis from Daniil Medvedev, taking the attack to the world number 1.
14-30.
And that absolutely was the right shot. You don't want to let that bounce. And that's how good he has been returning second serve. 66% of his points won returning the second serve. Surprising, actually, that Djokovic is only 52. For the year, he's 55, Novak.
Beautiful hands. Terrific touch from Djokovic. We remain on serve in this opening set. Djokovic winning 3-2.
3 games to 2.
And such an intelligent second serve as well. Just 78 miles an hour. And he knows where, because Medvedev is standing so far back, he's actually got no pace to play with. If Medvedev made the adjustment and stood further in, and Djokovic has got the option of going 110, as we know that's a serve that he hits a lot under pressure. That was a beautiful backhand volley.
Is that something you expect to see from Medvedev today, just changing that serve position, or do you think he'll just stay far back the whole match?
I think as long as the score and he's playing as well as he is at the moment, I think he'll continue. And sometimes the tendency, when you're in an inexperience, you can change your tactics too quickly. And I think where Medvedev, he knows what a great player he is. So far, it's working well.
Well, it's Novak Djokovic, 65th Masters 1000 semi-final, and he's looking to book a spot in his 50th Masters 1000 final tomorrow. Of course, he is currently 2 behind Rafa in the title stakes. Nadal with 35, Djokovic with 33. A very good opportunity to close the gap in the next 24 hours or so.
Love.
A rare miss from the back of the court for Medvedev.
Yeah, the unforced errors count so far. 5 from Medvedev, just 2 from Djokovic.
Looking in the zone, the world #1.
Well, we know he can go hours making good decisions with his shot selection, Djokovic. And this was played to perfection. As soon as Medvedev defended line, he was in trouble. Djokovic could go back behind him. Looks like he's wanting to make the move in this game. Needs first serves, Medvedev.
That's good play, good approach, an injection of pace behind the forehand side again, and wasted little time in coming forward to finish off at the net.
Brave play. He had the invitation, and at no stage did he hesitate. That's why you play doubles, Adam. Great volley.
(40-30).
Got there in the end, but had to win the point 3 or 4 times over to Djokovic.
great camera angle to show how Djokovic got his weight through the backhand initially to enable him to come forward.
Not always the most reliable under the smash, Djokovic, but he had a good one there. Nice. Second time that he's gone to the drop shot on this occasion, played it perfectly.
Yeah, and that was the right time because of the quality of the serve. He was inside the baseline. Novak was behind the baseline. Nice change-up, and there have been some subtle changes from Medvedev, especially in this game. We've seen him come forward, seen him hit the drop shot.
Oh, it's just wide. That's what Djokovic does so well. Just get the ball back in court. Wasn't the greatest return in terms of depth, but it was a good first serve that he hit out wide there. Djokovic just asking the question of Medvedev.
Djokovic.
That's now 12 returns made from Djokovic, and he's won 8 of those 12 points. And Medvedev just hesitated a touch on the approach shot. You absolutely can't do that against Djokovic because he will punish you.
Incredible tennis. It's been coming. You sense that Djokovic really wanted it in that game. And the world #1 breaks to lead 4-2.
And that was a masterclass, that last point from Djokovic. It started the point before when Medvedev came forward, lost the point. Therefore, there's hesitation the next point. Djokovic just hit 3 chips, 2 on the forehand, 1 on the backhand, to get himself back into a position where he was then able to turn defense into attack.
Well, the level from both players so far has been very good, very high. You can see Djokovic leading the tour on breakpoints converted this year. Only man above 50%.
love. Tequila. Love.
Where do they get these things from?
I'm not sure Medvedev would like to see that.
No. I think one of Djokovic is enough. It's 7 points in a row for Novak Djokovic.
New balls, please.
And after just 27 minutes, he's a game away from taking this opening set. Medvedev will serve at 2-5.
Leads 5-2.
Well, this has been a bit of a clinic so far from Novak Djokovic. Still, just 2 unforced errors in this opening set. 8 winners. And he's only lost 4 points behind his serve. So everything at the moment going to plan for Djokovic, of course, trying to get his revenge after that quarter-final defeat in Monte Carlo against Medvedev. As I mentioned at the start, it was a very windy day, conditions completely different to how they are today. But he's looked good all week, other than that opening service game that he hit against Sam Querrey in his first match when he was broken. But it didn't take him too long to find his rhythm. He managed to take that opening set and hasn't looked back since. Neither player, mind you, have dropped a set so far this week.
Not a lot to choose between the two of them, even though it's 3 games. I think really that the stat that sticks out for me so far is actually net points won. Djokovic has won 6 out of 6 when he's come forward. Medvedev just 1 out of 4. You know, both players actually hit the ball very well from the back. Both players have served well. Djokovic has only made 2 errors. We talked about it at the start, Adam, and for me the key also was going to be over 9 shots. Given how much tennis Medvedev has played, over 9 shots, Djokovic has won 5 out of the 7.
Yeah. 15-all.
And again, it's the pressure that Djokovic puts on you. You look up, you see him standing the other end of the court. You know that the second serve has got to be hit with quality.
That is fascinating because Djokovic accepted the invitation to come in. Not normally a shot you would see Djokovic do, and to the strength of the backhand, and he wins the point. It's almost like he's breaking down the strength.
30-all.
Just caught the back edge. It looked as that was going to be another trip to the net without success for Medvedev, but he's got away with it.
Is he getting kind in his old age, Djokovic?
Well, good hold from 15-30 down. He will pose the question of Djokovic. And so far as it has been Djokovic the entire week, other than that opening service game against Querrey in his first match, he has looked in terrific touch behind his own deal.
That's 33 in a row, isn't it? Service games. Just lost the 4 points so far on serve.
Love 15. Second service.
How big could that be?
It's that smart second serve again. I feel he's got to make the adjustment, Medvedev, at some stage.
Return position?
I think so, because Djokovic is winning 6 out of 8 on his second serve, and he's not giving, most of the time, any pace for Medvedev to deal with on that.
That's smart. Serve volley from Djokovic.
30-15.
Continues his dominance at the net.
He's thought about it. He has his base game, but also a few areas that he'll add in to different opponents. It's a safe play, that, against Medvedev. And it's what Kyrgios did very well in Washington against Medvedev in the final. Serve volleyed a lot, and Medvedev didn't return anywhere near as well in that match as we'd seen him previously, because he took him out of his comfort zone.
2 set points. Well, a bit of a clinic so far from Novak Djokovic. Clean as a whistle, that set. Hardly any mistakes, solid as a rock. And he takes it, 6-3.
But it's classic Novak Djokovic. 35 minutes of that opening set. Off the top of my head, would there be any particular shot you'd go, oh, that was unbelievable? No, but it was a masterclass of putting your game on the court, tactically smart, not panicking early on. And just Novak Djokovic at his best. Only 3 errors in that first set. 8 out of 9 points won at the net. And in the end, Medvedev, who played very well to start with, was just starting to feel the heat. Felt a key at the start, was the rallies over 9 shots. Djokovic won 6 of the 8, as he also won the other categories under 5 and shots, and also 5 to 9. And then the last page will also tell us the big difference between the two. Not a lot to separate the two. Points won on first serve. Very good numbers for both, considering good returning stats that they have. But the second serve points won, big difference. Djokovic 6 out of 8, 75%. Medvedev only 4 out of 11. Djokovic, that opening set, hitting the ball fantastically well.
Well, unsurprisingly, pretty ecstatic at the result so far, the Djokovic fans, and there's plenty of them.
Needs to get the spelling of his surname right, though.
Do they spell it wrong? So Medvedev, after losing the opening set 6-3, will start us off in the second set. Well, I'm surprised he didn't challenge there, Medvedev, because he basically just stopped anyway, so I think he may as well have just gone up, had a little look.
Love 15.
What Mohamed Layani said, well, challenge then. So other than return position, Barry, anything else you'd change if you were Medvedev?
That would be number one.
30-15.
I mean, ideally, playing Djokovic, it's very difficult to beat him in straight lines, and that is Medvedev. It's also very difficult to beat him if you're not that confident coming forward.
That's good. 40-15.
And because of the amount of tennis that he played, I always felt physically Djokovic had the edge tonight. I think he just got to take a few more risks. Because he played well in the first set.
40-30.
Yeah, it was high quality.
It was very high quality. So he has to make the assessment, well, I'm a set down. Will Djokovic get a little tight, being a setup? Well, history suggests no.
It does.
With his awesome record of when he wins the first set.
First game, second set.
Holding on to his opening service game. Maybe serving first in the second set can be an advantage, but big difference. Made reference to the second serve points won. No surprise with Djokovic how aggressive and how early he hits that second serve return, the yellow balls. Medvedev, that's really how he plays. But he's playing against the very best. So standing 3.5 meters further back to return the second serve when Djokovic's been smart, he's hit at times the slow second serves. I think that's the change-up Medvedev's got to make.
Oh. 15 now.
That's a huge difference.
Now.
Yeah, this time, or was it just wide? Just long, I should say. Thought it was just on the back edge, but no, has just missed it.
Often find that with a lot of the top players, 40 love, they'll do something different. Just to change the rhythm.
Djokovic.
Well, just the second ace of the match for Novak Djokovic, but again wasting little time in holding his own serve.
1 game all.
Fans are absolutely loving it so far today, and why not the way that he's playing?
He just looks so at ease of himself, Djokovic.
Well, Novak Djokovic in the Masters 1000 semi-finals, when he wins the opening set, is 36-3. If that's not bad enough for Medvedev, Djokovic has won his last 21 in a row. Oh, good touch. Yeah, the last person to beat him in a semi-final of a Masters 1000 event when Djokovic won the opening set. Juan Martín del Potro, Indian Wells 2013.
And he hit the slice backhand, Del Potro, because of his wrist problems.
And again, going to the drop shot, Djokovic, a couple of times already in this second set.
30-15.
Might just be thinking, with all the tennis that Medvedev's played, getting him on the run constantly may not be a bad idea. He's played 14 more matches this season, Daniil Medvedev. Since Wimbledon, he's played 10 matches. Of course, Djokovic hasn't played any.
Net for service. (40-15).
Good return, but Medvedev somewhat caught in no man's land.
Yeah, he's trying to mix it up, Medvedev. He's recognised that even though he played well in the first set, it wasn't good enough this evening. And he will be sort of aware of that incredible record he has when he wins the first set.
Medvedev.
Rare, unforced error from Novak Djokovic, just his 4th in the match, his 1st in the set. So Medvedev
leads
holds on to his serve and leads 2-1.
Can I call the physio on the next changeover, please? No problem. Biceps.
Here, okay.
Once again,
So Daniil Medvedev has called for the physio. Haven't noticed anything giving him any trouble, but just wonder whether he's feeling a little bit fatigued maybe and just needs something to try and help him through the rest of this match.
Changeover, Tom. Next changeover. On for, okay.
Of course, it was Djokovic who came into this match with the injury doubt with the elbow. That looks to be absolutely fine. So we hope that this is nothing serious for Daniil.
For him, not for him. Medvedev. For Medvedev, for Medvedev.
Well, just in the break, Daniil Medvedev has called for the trainer, so we're not entirely sure what the problem is for the Russian. But for the next changeover, the physio has been called, so we'll keep an eye on him.
At time.
Which generally suggests it's nothing too serious.
Because he's called it for the next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Medvedev, who's very open in his interviews, said, if you give me too much information, I get blocked and I can't play anymore. He's got to have a clear head, which he has tonight. And this man certainly has.
Let for service. Let for service. Love 15.
Two consecutive unforced errors for Novak Djokovic, almost unheard of. Takes his tally to a grand total of 5 for the match.
Let for service.
Who do you think, Barry, is the closest player on tour to the level of Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, or even with the potential to get to their level at one day?
Two parts to that question. If Djokovic, Nadal or Federer don't win the US, who is in the next best position to win it right now? I would have said team, but with his problems he's had this week,
15.
Yep. He's only apparently just got out of bed with the virus that he had. So that puts a huge question mark because of his lack of matches on the hard courts in the last few weeks.
Djokovic
holds comfortably once more, 2 games all.
2 games all.
And obviously with my silence,
You're struggling.
I'm struggling. Well, because, you know, Zverev's not in the reckoning at the moment. I think Tsitsipas is going through a few tough moments and he'll come good, but I don't think he can come good in the space of a week. But I think if you had to push me, he would probably be the one right now. Because I don't actually, although he's not winning the matches, I don't think he's actually that far away. And generally the very best players, if they can just win a couple of matches, then it can click.
That was a very good pickup initially from Medvedev on the half volley.
And we all have our opinions. The reason I haven't gone for Medvedev is Medvedev's 7 out of 10 is magnificent, and he's probably the 4th best player in the world right now. But Tsitsipas is 9 and 9.5 out of 10 is better than Medvedev's 9, 9.5. And ultimately, that's what wins you majors.
15-30.
The backhand goes wide. Savara looking a little more anxious now. He's been working with Medvedev since around 2014. Said that he didn't start kind of properly working with him until 2017. He got a bigger group around him, and he said it was just kind of little things like getting him to eat better, for example, that kind of really transformed him and made him into the player that we see today.
That was a questionable shot selection from someone who is a master at picking the right shot at the right time.
So Djokovic with break point.
Yes.
Expertly saved with ace number 5.
Advantage, Medvedev.
Djokovic could have had a racket on that. Don't know whether he thought it was going long or wide, but he decided to leave it. Medvedev again going to the drop shot.
These 3 games to
Will remain on serve. He saves break points and leads 3-2.
My biceps is hurting. Where is hurting? I'm not sure. It's like the feeling is everywhere, but oh my god. Don't go too much.
Not sure this is helping, to be honest.
Three wise men with the physio.
So the right bicep is the problem. So it's the right bicep for Daniil Medvedev that's causing him a little bit of trouble, and he's actually been put through the pain barrier by the physio. He's grimaced on 3 or 4 occasions, Medvedev, as he's been given a bit of a working over.
I think not next, but maybe in one more.
That's because he needed 10 minutes to get over that.
Time.
I'm surprised he wasn't back at all.
Yeah, the pain that he's in the last 90 seconds. It's just fatigue.
It doesn't seem to be affecting him actually during the match in terms of his pace on serve or off the ground. Obviously, just when it's manipulated in certain ways, just hurts a little bit more. But anyway, it's Djokovic serving at 2-3, second set.
At 15 love.
He's just having no change out of Djokovic with the longer rallies.
It's too good. Beautifully disguised from Djokovic. Medvedev didn't see it coming.
So far, this is a clinic on serve from Djokovic. And also the ability to be able to surprise Medvedev every now and again. 81% points won on first serve, 80% of points won on his second serve.
40 now.
And that serve, a wide one. It feels like he's won every single point when he has gone to the forehand.
Well, he said after the Pablo Carreño Busta match that his first serve was his biggest weapon that day, and it felt the best shot of his game. That match he served 71% first serves in. Yesterday against Luca Pouille, 71% first serves in. Today against Medvedev, 71% first serves in. How's that for consistency?
Djokovic.
Djokovic holds to love, 3 games all.
And 3 games all.
Oh, the quality of the return, setting the points up for Djokovic.
Love 15.
And that's a rarity, really, for Djokovic. You don't often find him going close to the sidelines as that on a second serve return. Made a statement.
Great volley. Making his move, the world #1.
Love 30.
And Goran will be happy with how well he's volleyed this evening. Didn't have any success in Monte Carlo when he came to the net against Medvedev, but tonight, 12, 13 out of 16 he's won.
$15, 30.
Two vital first serves from Medvedev. He could do with 2 more.
I like it. He's not winning many points on the second serve.
30.
Why not take a calculated risk?
Football called. Crowd haven't heard it. Very good hold. Love 30 down. You just sensed Djokovic was making his move there in this second set, but Medvedev finds a way through. We remain on serve. The Russian leading 4-3.
Medvedev leads 4 games to 3.
But it's so important to take calculated risks every now and again, and that's what Medvedev did. Penultimate point.
As we have a little look at Daniil Medvedev's form since Wimbledon. He's won 12 of his 14 matches, and there's only 2 defeats, Barry, coming in finals.
Yep, and all the matches he's won in straight sets, which is, you know, also gives you a real good indication of his confidence. The serve has been brilliant, which actually tonight, his points won on first serve has also been exceptional. He's putting himself in the reckoning, week in, week out. Excellent levels of consistency from the Russian. He's currently 6th in the live rankings in the race.
been impressed with Medvedev after losing that opening set. He is right back in. Now, where is Caitlin? That's what I want to know.
Just say she said yes.
Yeah, feel good story. And they say romance is dead. So Djokovic at 3-4. Nearly. Medvedev gambled which way Djokovic was going to go with the forehand. Feel as though he's stepped up his aggression in the last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, that would have surprised Djokovic at 30 when he went for that massive second serve. You have to do those different plays every now and again. What's that, 6 points in a row? So clever.
15,
going for that body serve.
Well, he's yet to have a look at a break point in this match, Medvedev. He's got half an opportunity still here at 15:30. Love that one back.
Really disappointed with that miss, but the movement from Djokovic, he hit the backhand line and then he cut inside the baseline to hit the forehand early, his next shot. His movement off the ball is so impressive.
Odd choice of shot from Djokovic.
Yeah, very odd choice. You're right, Adam, because he just didn't need to play it at that stage, and because he's been winning the longer rallies. So is this just a little bit of tension that's creeping into Djokovic's tennis?
The crowd do their best to get behind Medvedev. They don't want this to be over in an hour and a quarter.
Mr. Djokovic change the call, left center service line, ball is called out.
Well, we've seen it so many times from Djokovic, from Federer, from Nadal. When they need a first serve, more often than not they find it, but he is just wide.
Second service.
Had a feeling it was coming. A bullet of a return from Daniil Medvedev. And he will now serve for the set.
And what a match player this guy is. The first break point, he gets a look at his second serve. The first time in the match, he stepped in to attack the second serve. So it's 2 games in a row. He surprised Djokovic with different tactics. And on both occasions, they were big points, and he won both.
15 love. Love.
Three big first serves from Medvedev. Djokovic is challenging the return. I'm fairly sure this was long. Oh, it's caught the back edge. Frustrating for Djokovic. So why not just hammer down another ace? What an impressive service game this has been from Daniil Medvedev. He has 3 set points. A wonderful response from the Russian, highlighting why he's won so many matches in recent months. We are heading the distance. Medvedev, 6-3.
Can you call the physio?
What a golden period that was from Medvedev. He won 12 of the last 14 points. He was down love 30 at 3-all. And he was brave. He recognized he needed to do something. He upped the aggression. And I think rattled Djokovic in the process, which can often happen when you do something that's different to what we've seen in the match. Magnificent from Medvedev. We were marveling at Djokovic's numbers in the first set. The fact that Djokovic only made 3 unforced errors and 9 winners. Medvedev in that second set, 14 winners and only 4 errors. So although he took risks, it wasn't as if he made any more unforced errors, so he was playing well within himself. Great numbers for Djokovic. If he can't, you look at that and say, how to lose the set, but what surprised us, Adam, was the drop shot. You know, it's such a big moment when he was serving at 3-4, but 8 aces is so crucial, isn't it, to be able to get 3 points against the world's best returner.
Well, what a set of tennis that was from Daniil Medvedev. 14 winners, 4 unforced errors. As Barry said, we were marveling at Novak Djokovic in that opening set.
Please, thank you.
Medvedev's level right up there as well. What will the third set bring? It'll be Djokovic to get us underway.
Djokovic to serve.
This is the 15th match that Medvedev has played in the US hardcourt swing. It's the first that has gone to a deciding set. Just wonder how much is left in the tank of the Russian. Which way Medvedev was going to go. He went line, Djokovic was there. And an authoritative hold to love in just under a minute and a half.
First game, final set.
An impressive beginning to the set from Djokovic. He did only lose 6 points on serve in the second set. They were just at the wrong time. And in fact, that amazing return that Medvedev hit to break was only the third point that Djokovic lost on his second serve in the whole match.
Daniil. Daniil.
He's just rushing Djokovic at the moment.
40 love.
Definitely playing more aggressively here, the Russian.
It's a lot easier to up the ante when you know you've got so many wins behind you.
He's everywhere. All-encompassing Daniil Medvedev.
One game over.
Medvedev knows, of course, the last time they met and it went to a deciding set, it was the Russian who came through 6-2 in the third. Did win the opening set that day, though, Medvedev. Interestingly, if you look at his matches this year, when he's lost the opening set in a best-of-3 match, he is 2-11. He's actually lost his last 10 matches in a row when he's lost the opening set. You've got to go back to Sofia in February for the last time that he won one. Yeah, good move forward.
That's very good from Djokovic.
15 all.
He needs to make a few statements early on in the points. Try and wrestle that control back, which he had in the first set. I say that because in the first set, those points under 5 shots, Djokovic was so
15,
aggressive.
30.
He won 14 to Medvedev's 12 since the first set. So since the start of the second set, Medvedev's won 21 to Djokovic's 15. So the aggressive play, the change-up is working for the Russian.
stubborn resilience from Daniil Medvedev, who is turning this match around at a rate of knots right now.
15-14.
And Medvedev doing to Djokovic what Djokovic does to so many of his opponents. That brilliant forehand pass. And Djokovic looks to his corner to say, what's going on here?
Quite unbelievable how quickly a tennis match can change. Djokovic, who looked in the driver's seat for so long,
Medvedev
now has an uphill task ahead of him. It's Medvedev who leads by a break.
Well, he's rattled his cage. And to be able to do that when you are playing the world #1 and when you're already a set down is truly remarkable. Can I change my answer with that question you asked about half an hour ago?
I'll allow it.
I mean, I'm not so sure I've seen Medvedev play as aggressively as that in a big match and with success. Now can he follow it through?
Yeah, that's the amazing thing, isn't it? The fact that he's upped his aggression so much, and yet in set 2 he made 4 unforced errors, and in this set he's made 1. So he's playing with more risk, but just not missing. So no surprise that he's managed to turn this match on its head. Well, no signs of that right bicep giving Medvedev any more trouble, which is good. And it's going to be fascinating to see what kind of response we're going to get from the world #1. Medvedev thought he'd made it.
Mr. Medvedev changed the call. Left service line, ball is called out.
I mean, it's 116 mile/hour second serve. And it's in, right on the line.
Well, Djokovic has problems with Kyrgios, and this is what Kyrgios does to him.
15 love. And 15 all. Quick him. First service.
Immediate overall from Mohamed Layani.
Quick him. First service.
Djokovic not happy with the line judge. 2 in a row that he's got wrong. Someone in the crowd shouts fault on this occasion.
30-15.
It's 22 of the last 30 points for Medvedev. Talk about being on a roll. From Djokovic.
Yeah, that was so good from Novak. And with all his experience, he will know, as amazing as this run has been from Medvedev, he can't keep it going. There will be a half a chance. Just got to make sure you just keep it the one break if he doesn't break back now.
Well, he won't if Medvedev continues to serve like that. 129 miles an hour straight down the tee. A quick fire holds. 3-1.
He's gone to the casino with $100. He keeps doubling up and he keeps winning. Continuing to be aggressive, Medvedev. His court position a lot better than what it was that first set when he was the one who's having to play 4 meters behind the baseline. His first error of the set.
And 40, 15.
It's interesting, you look at Djokovic and there's no emotion, but you've got to have something going your way to get the emotion. He needs one of his golden passing shots or a big rally.
An inch perfect first serve will have to suffice for now. And he does indeed hold to keep this third set to just the one break. Medvedev leading 3-2. Yeah, because it was something that we saw against Sam Querrey, wasn't it? A couple of big reactions. It was only a second round match against Querrey, but he got broken very early on in that opening set. When he broke back, there was an enormous reaction, and then when he won the opening set as well, another big reaction from Djokovic, something that we weren't necessarily seeing earlier this year, Indian Wells, Miami, when he looked a little flat.
Yep, but you gotta have something. You can't fake it, can you? You got to have something in terms of your play or a moment that you really see that raw emotion. He 100% wants to win this match.
Yeah. Golden chance to narrow the gap to Nadal in the Masters 1000 titles. You're expecting Djokovic to at least have a look at one break point as this match goes on. It's going to be fascinating to see how Medvedev serves going forward. Is he going to continue with the enormous first and second serves that we've seen in the last half hour or so?
Well, he's almost averaging in the last set and a bit an ace every 3 serves he hits. In terms of the service points.
15 love.
Really in a rhythm on serve at the moment, Medvedev. He's lost just 1 point behind his serve in this third set.
Fault.
A belated call from Mohamed Layani, but of course he's right underneath it. I think he can actually see the mark. Yeah, good call as well.
15.
116 mile an hour second serve.
Well, that's what's got him in this position. The change-up. So you can't be critical with him. 96 miles an hour in the opening set, and then 110 miles per hour on the second serve since then.
Oh, this is ridiculous. 120 mile an hour ace on the second serve.
I think there's two reasons for it. Firstly, he knew he wasn't winning the longer rallies. And secondly, and crucially, he backs his serve.
14, 15.
Wow. Yeah, penny for Djokovic's thoughts right now. First time that Djokovic has been able to get into one of those exchanges for a while. Such of the quality of the Medvedev serve. Well, this is the problem, though, isn't it? When it's working, it's all well and good, but you've got to expect errors to come as well.
Yeah, there will be a time when you will miss a few.
But he's not missing that often.
It does help, though, when you've made two finals in the last 2 weeks, and you're in the semi-final, and you're in the top 10, and you're seeing the ball like a beach ball.
Well, this is a serving exhibition at the moment from Daniil Medvedev, who moves to within 2 games of his 3rd consecutive final.
These 4 games to 2.
You relax, you loose arm, fully commit to it. It's a lovely ball toss as well from Medvedev. He's able to get inside the court. Good drive with that left leg. Brilliant. Look at that good balance as well after he hits the serve.
Well, that was just not a good enough approach from Djokovic. Very tentative.
Well, Djokovic has been overpowered, so he's trying to come back with a statement, but there's just nothing on that approach from Novak.
Is that the point that might get Djokovic going again?
Ball is put in.
And a great response from Djokovic, because what he was able to do is actually get a bit of rhythm, which is something he hasn't had the luxury of in the last 40 minutes.
14-15. Let first service.
It's an impressive response from Djokovic, whose mind, I'm sure, right now is a little scrambled with what's going on. But it's still Medvedev who leads, but just by the solitary break, 4-3.
He does have the bonus as well, given how well he's been serving Adam. It's new balls.
Yeah.
So, 2 service games to come. Potentially. Where he's not going to change that mindset. I don't think he's going to change it and hold back. Why would you?
Just be interesting, won't it? That last game, if he holds here and then has to serve it out, is he still going to be hitting 120-mile-an-hour second serves? It's going to be fascinating to watch. Well, shall I tell you something more amazing than Daniil Medvedev's level and his comeback in this match? He's not playing next week. Amazing, having a week off. Of course, he won the title in Winston-Salem 12 months ago, did Medvedev, beating Steve Johnson in that final. He didn't drop a set the entire week, but he's finally decided just to put his feet up. But a good decision heading into the US Open. New balls for Medvedev, 4-3.
A difference to that point. Not only was Djokovic able to get the return back in play, but he just tightened up a bit with his ground shots. Medvedev didn't play with the same freedom, so a few times really Djokovic has been able to have time on the ball, and he punished Medvedev. Big opening point for the top seed.
Oh. How about that for touch?
And given the amount of tennis that he's played, did he really want those average rally lengths in the first set? 6 shots? Probably not. And he's got quicker, and he's got more aggressive and more accurate.
Let for service.
Averaging on his serve 3 shots in this set. This is not the normal tennis we see from Medvedev.
Mr. Djokovic
has been called in.
Baseline.
Has this
ball is called in.
Caught some of the line? This is huge. He's fine. Just about. He didn't need to be anywhere near that good. And I suppose, Barry, that's one of the biggest takeaways from this match. The fact that he now is showing that he can play a different way.
Djokovic has 2 challenges remaining.
I mean, He's been great at the net.
.128-mile-an-hour second serve.
Equaling his fastest.
Djokovic did supremely well to get the return back in court. He managed to get Medvedev in one of those lengthy exchanges, but it goes the way of the Russian, who is one game away from tomorrow's final.
Medvedev leads 5-3.
Oh, this has been great. An hour and 40 minutes of sporting theatre. Djokovic serving to stay in the match.
Thank you, please, already. Thank you. Please, thank you. Please.
It's wide.
Do you know what I think is important for Medvedev in this game? Actually, if you lose it swinging.
Yeah.
What you don't want to do actually is allow Djokovic the luxury of hitting some ground shots and getting into a groove that could ultimately then put Djokovic in a better position to break back in the next game.
That is wild from Djokovic.
15-13. Please.
Two match points. Couldn't have won it in more impressive fashion. Gets the thumbs up from Novak. That shows how good he was today. And Daniil Medvedev books his spot in his third consecutive final. He made his first ATP Masters 1000 final ever in Montreal last week. Well, it hasn't taken him long to make a second, has it? His wife, Daria, looking a little shocked, perhaps at the level that we've just seen from Medvedev. That was super impressive. After losing the opening set, he comes through 6-3 in the third and will play David Goffin tomorrow.
Well, we know he's been playing amazing tennis, Medvedev, but he's just achieved the unthinkable. Djokovic, who'd won his last 21 Masters semi-finals when he won the first set. Djokovic had Medvedev in the match, but Medvedev just threw everything at Djokovic. That aggressive, courageous tennis. The serving was out of this world, first and second serve, and he rattled his cage, and that's not easy to do. Just a simply stunning performance from the Russian. That he has got to surely admit the greatest 2 sets of tennis that he's played. And the numbers, I mean, they were good for Djokovic. He played a wonderful first set, we shouldn't forget that. But Medvedev just took matter in his own hands. Same amount of points won, 75 each. But the winners on the serve, the winners on the forehand, and also didn't make many unforced errors. Big key was the speed, the average speed on the second serve. He just kept rolling the dice, and he made that crucial one, didn't he, in the second set when he was down, loved 30, got back to 30 or hit that 127 down the middle. Could have easily been a double fault. Who knows what could have happened, but that's sometimes what you've got to do against Djokovic. And only 4 double faults, as Adam's just pointed out to me, and that's a really good number. And 16 aces. There aren't too many players that can serve 16 aces against Djokovic on a hard court in 3 sets. Magnificent.
So there is confirmation then of Goffin and Medvedev in the final. Djokovic and Medvedev, I mean, how good was that level? 63 combined winners, just 37 combined unforced errors. That really was a joy to watch this evening. And of course, David Goffin beating Gasquet earlier on in straight sets. So Medvedev must be feeling pretty happy. Why not hear from him? He's with Brad Gilbert.
Daniil, first of all, congratulations. Second Masters final in a row. How were you able to turn things around in the second set when you were set down?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I was so tired in the first set, and I mean, playing Novak, I thought I'm not going to be able to keep the intensity, and then there was one momentum change in the second, and I started just playing unbelievable, and I mean, the crowd was amazing today. They gave me so much energy. Thanks a lot, guys.
Well, speak of the tactics in the second set. At 3-all, you started bombing your second serve like you were hitting 2 first serves. Where did that come from, and had you thought about doing that beforehand, because that unpredictable play really seemed to bother him?
Basically, I do it all the time when my second serve doesn't work, and with Novak, I mean, he was just destroying me on my second serve. So at one moment, 6-3, 3-all, love 30, I'm like, okay, what's the matter to do normal second serve if I'm going to lose a point? So, and I started to win much more points with my second serve like this.
Very smart. Okay, I want to ask you, at 4-3, you have the trainer come over. He starts digging into your arm. You look like you were whinging in pain. And then why did you invite him back to do it again?
Well, I was hurting in my biceps a little bit, nothing serious, and as you saw, we didn't even take 3 minutes, so I didn't try to disturb Novak with the time or anything, but it helped a lot my arm and energy get back into the match, because it was the crucial moment.
How are you able to stay so calm throughout this match? You didn't get too excited, but you took it when you could.
Again, the answer is I don't know. I try to do my best to win the match, and actually many more matches like this I would just go crazy and just, I don't know, break the record and lose 6-3, 6-3, but today I knew that I cannot do it, so I am the winner.
You got David Goffin tomorrow in Sunday's final. What are your expectations?
David is an amazing player. I lost to him like 1.5 months on Wimbledon in an amazing 5-setter, so never easy to play him. I think he's in great shape here, and I hope it's going to be a great final.
Kick your feet up, buddy. Moving on to his first career final in Cincinnati, Daniil Medvedev.